I want you to open your desk drawer. Look at the 3 journals you started in January and stopped writing in by February. Look at the domain names you bought and never used. You tell yourself you just lost interest. That is a lie. You didn't lose interest. You lost the high. Day 1 is a drug. You feel the rush of potential. You feel like you've already won just by starting. But day 20 is a hangover. The music stops. The work gets quiet. And what do? You quit. You go find a new day 1 to get the hit again. I know this pattern because I lived it for a decade. I wasn't multi-passionate. I was a dopamine junkie. And if you are honest with yourself, you know exactly what that crash feels like. Here's the part nobody tells you. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It thinks it is saving you. Evolutionarily, new meant food, and boring meant death. Your biology is wired to run from monotony. But in the modern world, that instinct is a trap. Novelty is the spark, but boredom is the firewood. You cannot keep a fire burning if you only chase the sparks. The thumbnail says, "Do the boring work." And this isn't just advice. Boredom is the entrance exam. It is the mechanism that separates the tourists from the pros. Stick with me. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why your brain hates the plateau, and exactly how to rewire it, to fall in love with the grind. Let me guess. You expect your life to have background music. You expect the grind to feel cinematic. You expect it to be a rapid, high-energy transformation. This is because you have been raised on a diet of training montages. In every movie about success, 10 years of suffering are compressed into 2 minutes of hype. You see the hero lift the weight. You see him run in the rain. You see him stay late at the office. 2 minutes later, the song ends. And he is a master. This cinematic trick has broken your brain. You see the highlight reel, but you never feel the weight. You never see the thousands of hours of silence. You never see the days where he showed up, did the work, and saw absolutely zero progress. I fell for this trap for years. I kept waiting for the music to start. I kept waiting for the work to feel epic. But the music never came. Here is the brutal truth. Real success is quiet. It looks like waking up at the same time, eating the same food, and solving the same problem over and over again until you are sick of it. Success isn't fireworks. Success is erosion. It is the small, continuous pressure of water against rock that eventually carves a canyon. It is slow, it is monotonous, and it is invisible to the naked eye. The reason you quit is because you are addicted to motivation. Motivation is the montage music. It is a narcotic. It feels good, but it is transient. If you need to feel like it to work, you will lose to the person who works, regardless of how they feel. You don't need more passion. You need a system that functions without feelings. You need to make peace with the fact that the path to the top isn't a thrill ride. It is a long, flat road through a desert. And this leads us to the specific mile marker where 99% of people die of thirst. It happens exactly at week 3. We need to talk about the silence, not the silence of focus, the silence of failure. It usually hits around day 20. You wake up early, you check your phone, 0 notifications, you check your progress, flatline. You look in the mirror and you see the exact same person you saw 3 weeks ago. You have entered the valley of despair. I know this place. I lived here for years. It feels like you are screaming into a void, and the void isn't even listening. This is where the internal voice changes. It stops cheering and starts whispering. It says, "You are embarrassing yourself. Nobody cares. You are a fool for trying. Go back to safety." This gap between your relentless sweat and your invisible results is where dreams go to die. Because the pain is real, you panic. You think, this isn't working. So you pivot. You abandon the path. You jump off the boat just to make the anxiety stop. But here is the physics of what is actually happening. You are like a pot of water on a stove. You have been applying heat for weeks. The water is sitting at 211 degrees. It is scalding hot, but the surface is calm. You look at it and think, nothing is happening. All this effort is a waste. You are wrong. You are exactly 1 degree away from the boil. At 212 degrees, the water transforms. It becomes steam. It becomes power. But you are quitting at 211 degrees because you are addicted to the visual feedback of bubbles. You don't need a new plan. You don't need a new niche. You need to stand in the heat 1 day longer than your brain wants to. Surviving the valley requires a fundamental shift in how you view pain. You think the pain is a stop sign. I'm going to show you that it is actually an ID badge. It's Tuesday morning. The cursor is blinking. You have stared at the same spreadsheet for 20 minutes. Your brain is screaming, "This is pointless. I need to do something else." Stop. That screaming sensation? That isn't a sign that you should quit. That is the great filter locking the doors. You need to reframe boredom immediately. If success was exciting 100% of the time, everyone would be a billionaire. The universe inserts the grind into the middle of the process, specifically to weed out the tourists. Boredom is the gatekeeper of excellence. Think about an Olympic swimmer, 4 a.m., cold water, staring at a black line on the bottom of a pool for 4 hours straight. They do this for 4 years, just for a race that lasts 40 seconds. Do you think they are motivated to look at that black line? No, they are bored out of their minds. Here's the difference. The amateur feels the boredom and opens Instagram to escape. He negotiates with the pain. The pro feels the boredom, acknowledges it, and does the next rep anyway. He understands that the black line is the price of the gold medal. You have to stop looking for passion to save you. Passion is for the start. Discipline is for the middle. Mastery isn't about doing extraordinary things. It is about doing ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. So, the next time you sit down to work and feel that heavy, dull weight of repetition, smile. Because that feeling is the sound of your competition quitting. You are walking through the graveyard of potential. Everyone else needed to be entertained. You are the only one left walking because you were willing to be bored. But you cannot survive this walk on willpower alone. You will eventually break. To win, you need to structure your entire existence to remove the need for willpower. You need to build a boring empire. So, what does the life of a master actually look like? It is 6 a.m. The alarm buzzes. You put on the identical shirt. You eat the same eggs. You sit in the unchanging chair. You open the standard document. There is no music. There is no drama. There is no debate. There is just execution. Welcome to the boring empire. If you study the daily routines of the most successful people on Earth, you will notice a terrifying pattern. Their lives are aggressively consistent. They don't wake up and ask, "What do I feel like doing today?" Asking that question is the mark of an amateur. The amateur wakes up and negotiates with himself. He burns his limited cognitive energy, deciding what to wear, what to eat, and when to start. He invites chaos into his morning in the name of variety. The pro understands that variety is a tax on performance. Every time you change your routine, you have to adapt. Adaptation costs energy. By keeping the logistics of life completely flat and predictable, the pro conserves 100% of his ferocity for the work. Gustave Flaubert said it best: "Be regular and orderly in your life, so that you may be violent and original in your work." You need to turn your day into an algorithm. An algorithm doesn't feel like running. It just runs. Even when the room is cold and your mood is flat, the sequence executes. If it is 8 a.m., then I write. If it is 1 p.m., then I train. When you do this, the friction disappears. You don't have to get motivated, because the decision was already made for you last night. The work becomes as automatic as breathing. You stop being a person who is trying to succeed. You become a machine that produces success as a byproduct of its design. And if you are willing to follow the steps day after day, you are no longer just watching the empire being built. You are the one stacking the bricks. The video is ending. The dopamine is fading. Now you face the real test. It is Monday morning. The calendar is blank. The work is quiet. And you have a choice to make. You can continue to be a tourist. You can go buy another journal. You can start another diet. You can chase the next shiny object that promises a result without the grind. You will feel busy. You will feel excited. But let me promise you this. 5 years from now, you will be in the exact same place. Just older, poorer, and more exhausted. Or you can become a pro, sit in the chair, put your headphones on, stare at the blank page, feel the boredom, and refuse to move. Realize that the magic isn't hidden in a new strategy. It is hidden in the work you are avoiding. The view from the peak is spectacular, but it is reserved strictly for those who fell in love with the climb. Success isn't a movie. It isn't a montage. It is doing ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. Stack the bricks day after day. The empire is yours to build. If you are ready to stop chasing entertainment and start building a legacy, click subscribe. Stop looking for the magic pill. Do the boring work.